Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are still with Steve Wilmot, Tournament Director of the RBC Heritage, presented by Boeing. And we've covered a little bit about where y'all have been. We've unpacked the multiple layers of this. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that we don't even think about. The domino effect is like multiple on so many different levels. So let's just cover briefly that, you know, the decision was made, and really, at the end of the day, you've been doing this for 34 years. You know, this decision did not come lightly. It was completely heartbreaking, and your timing, you know, you have a feel for the rhythm of this, probably like no one else does, you know?
Well, you know, we were very optimistic, and it was heartbreaking, and I did have, fortunately, my wife was one that was trying to comfort me in the fact that, you know, you can't take it personal. I mean, these things,
I can't even imagine. It's not an enviable position to be in.
Because I realized the impact on so many.
Oh,
but
gosh.
First and foremost, I understand the safety and well-being of everybody is the utmost importance.
And bottom line, y'all are going to do the right thing. That's what the tournament was based on, is how to help the community and wrap it into a golf tournament,
right.
You know, through all the charities you support.
You look at the fact going into tournaments, yes, this would have been my 34th, and whether it's my 34th next year or my 30th, I don't know how that works. And we were talking about, you know, whether we're the 52nd or the 50, but you know, you look for that status quo year, and it's going to be, you know, let's just build on the good, and it's amazing what could happen. To think 2 weeks ago, let alone 6 months ago, let alone 2 weeks ago, or even last week, of where we are today. But you know, we're going to learn from this. I mean, the community's going to learn from it. The government, the U.S. is, and the world's going to learn from this. But
I think that's kind of the silver lining, right?
Yeah, and we're going to come back stronger than ever next year, and with all of our partners, with all the community support, and you know, certainly from South Carolina, you know, Savannah's been a great partner and understanding, and wanting to work with us and things too. So
so we kind of covered that from the standpoint of back timing. You know, when the gates open, what has to be done in order to get there, right? We talked a little bit about the ticket sales and the options that you offered, which is fantastic. So let's talk about moving forward. And I think the first question, is it going to be the 52nd or the 53rd, you know?
Yes. We're not sure. That question has come up, but you know, that's something we can certainly look at.
It would help for signage.
I mean,
do you put the year on the signage? I can't.
There's some signage we do, and certainly the dates come into play and all. But you know, most of that was already completed.
Was all the printing done already? Like, did you have?
There's certain things that have not been done. Our daily pairing sheets and all, and certainly working with our local printer, Kinnical, they were great in the fact of, you know, certainly we're paying for what has been produced, but they're willing to, they understand us moving forward. And that's how a majority of our partners have been, and they understand, and they're going through a tough time. You know, this community's going through a difficult time right now, whether it is the restaurateurs or the hoteliers or rental companies and things too. So we're sensitive to that.
And it's so overwhelming. Everything is changing day to day to day, but at this point, one of the mainstays that we, or you know, an anchor, if you will, that we have right now is that it's not happening. So all of the work that has gone into it already, what's happening? Is it everything being disassembled? I mean, what about scheduling for all of that?
Yeah, well, that's, I was actually out there Saturday afternoon, and I felt it was the end of April. You know, the weather felt that way, but to see everything being dismantled and taken down, it's like, okay, we just had the tournament. That's what normally the case, but we haven't. So that is all happening, from the electrical to sending supplies back to things that we have ordered that we're going to have for next year. We can defer to next year too. You know, whether it's trash bags or there's things that we've looked at, rope and stakes and things that we do each year. So we have that, but there are things too. We had our volunteer uniforms that were all ordered, and in order, we're able to use those for next year. So we'll be able to get into do some of those things, and it's something we address with our volunteers too. There's a registration fee for them, and we sent out an e-blast to all our volunteers last week, and we were going to defer their support to next year.
Yeah.
And if for some reason, if not, because of scheduling or time of year, that we would refund their dollars. And
Yeah.
most have deferred, which is fine. And if we needed a refund, we would do that too. So we had a staff call today because not all the staff's in. We have an 11 o'clock call with the state. We're going through our budgeting process and looking at our exposure, working daily with the tour. I had a conference call yesterday with the tour at 4 o'clock. Not that it matters, but it's an interesting time, but I'm also the chairman of the Tournament Advisory Council, so I oversee all the PGA Tour events. So it's an interesting time to be in that position.
Sure.
With these tournaments reaching out to myself and having this experience, but to know what Tracy West had to go through last week at Valspar, or what Steve Worthy's going to have to go through at New Orleans, or we're all in it together, but
Yeah.
we're all sharing experiences, sharing ideas, kind of crisis management, but we're all in the same boat, but we're different times on the schedule.
I tell you what,
so
this
how we
is
go
deepening
through it.
those relationships in a whole new way that's going to have a certain sense of intimacy that's going to be moving forward very, very positive. So usually right now we'd be about 2 weeks out before the gates open, right? So, and where's your staff at in terms of what they would be doing and what they're going to be working on right now?
Well, the biggest thing, we're working on numbers. I mean, we are number crunching.
Yeah.
And again, they are their safety and well-being, as well as our trustee area, is the most important thing. So, but that's what we're doing. I mean, it's an eerie feeling for me. I have never, March and April, it's 24/7, 7-day work weeks, not necessarily all day Saturday and Sundays, but I'm there at 7, leave at 2 or 3 on, but so this is different for me.
Yeah, the flurry of inactivity is actually paralyzing.
Yeah,
It's
yes,
paralyzing.
it is.
Yeah.
And it's already interesting because I've never played golf in March or April, and now all of a sudden, I might,
Therapeutic. I mean, what else are you going to do? What else are you going to turn
It's
to?
therapeutic, but it makes me think about the job, and it makes me think about the unfortunate circumstances of having the event canceled.
Well, you can't be out there crying and say, there's no crying in
and
golf.
we're gonna learn from this. We're gonna get better.
Yeah.
And
Let's
the
talk
one
about
thing
the silver lining, like with some of the stuff that you're seeing.
Well, the community is rally. They realize that the importance of the tournament, and as we all do. But it's not just the tournament way. The businesses are closing, and some things right now are taking time outs and all. And the question was, you referenced this too, is there was, unfortunately, there was never a discussion with regards to postponing or rescheduling. It's just where the schedule is, where the schedule of the PGA Tour events, time of year, this community, how busy it is in the summertime compared to the fall conditions and all. So it was never, unfortunately, that was never a part of it. You've heard about the Masters trying to reschedule and some of the majors, and they're still trying to work through some of those things. And but that was not a part of the process. But we're gonna. I've always told people the tournament, we work 13 months out of the year, if not 53 weeks.
You have a date
out of
for
the
next year, right?
Right, April 12th through the 18th, and we've got the date. A lot of times we don't get the date too much later, but we have the support from the tour, and
That's wonderful.
The players, they're out there. They've shown a lot of support as well, and but they're independent contractors too. So if they don't play, they don't get paid. So it's
oh my gosh,
it's
you didn't
interesting.
even think
But
about that. Another underlying thing that you don't think about until you think about.
And then caddies,
and then you think about it.
and then caddies,
Yeah.
and then you get into some other things. But that's certainly just like what we're experiencing with restaurants closing and the workers that are unfortunately being laid off and things too. So I feel for this community. I feel for the nation right now and the world for what they're going through.
Absolutely.
But we want to learn from this, and we're going to
What
come
have
back.
you learned
next
so
year.
far? Something real quick off the top of your head.
I mean, it's
It's
still,
not
I've been
hindsight enough.
fortunate. No,
It's not really hindsight enough to be able to have those lessons
Just
solidified
you've
yet.
heard me talk about it, but and I'll take it from a more of a selfish side or a community side. This community is incredible.
Incredible.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I get chill bumps talking about it. I'm fortunate to be a part of something special. We have an incredible staff that people don't realize the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into, but even the leadership with the trustees, but the leadership from the town, our volunteers, our partners, our spectators, the giving that this community is about. That is where I feel so fortunate each and every day. And I unfortunately eat, sleep, and drink this tournament, and I know how important it is to us, this community, but also the state of South Carolina. And we'll survive. We're just a tournament. We're an important tournament. We'll get to there, but let's get everybody
moving
back
forward.
up.
We have run out of time, but this has been so wonderful to spend some time and just get all of this unpacked. Moving forward, we want to hear about, because it's going to change, what your needs are as they come. You know, because it's something that a lot of people build around. So, you know, I'm excited for what's to come, because it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be real good. I mean, so next year, whether it's the 52nd or the 53rd, we'll figure that out.
Right?
We'll be back, and it'll be a great opportunity for us to celebrate what we've experienced and went through, but we'll be back.
Yeah. Thanks for being with us.
We got this.
Thanks so much for watching Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Carrie Dillon, and we'll see you next time.